In this video, we're going to look at the query syntax that you can use for relevant searches in the customer engagement apps. So basically simple, what can I use when I type in my searches? What logic can I use within that new search bar at the top? Now that was introduced by Microsoft in November 2020. So this is a new and improved relevant search experience that is for specific customer engagement apps. That's Dynamics 365 Sales, Customer Service, Field Service, Marketing, and Project Service Automation. Now, if you haven't yet had this enabled within your environment, it's really straightforward to do. You basically need to come into the admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com, look in your list of environments, then from there go to the settings and then features. So if I go settings, and then if I come into product, then we've got features. And from there near the bottom, we've got two things that need to be turned on. The first one, if you're not already using it, is to turn on relevant search. And then the second one is to turn on the use new search experience. So those two things have to be turned on. And pretty quickly, if you'd already had relevant search turned on, pretty quickly after turning the new search experience on, you should see it that will show up in the middle. Across the top there, we've got that search toolbar. So the idea is that it's giving us a more familiar experience when we search for things. You expect to have this search box at the top, and that's what we've got now. But what can we actually do in here? So the first thing is if we look at Boolean searches, so Boolean operators. Many people are familiar with that term, and you've got things like and, you've got things like or not. So the most common thing would be the expectation that I can go ahead and type in and. So if I do maintenance and I do sample, my expectation is that I would get things back that use both of those words in there. If I go ahead and I look at my list of cases, what I'm actually getting is I'm getting some cases returned back that have the word maintenance in them. That's great. And also have maintenance and sample. But what I'm also getting is I'm getting cases that are coming back that have the word sample but do not have the word maintenance. So what this uses is something called simple query syntax. And for this, what I need to do instead is something that denotes and is a plus symbol. So if I do that, I'm now getting what I would have expected in terms of those results. I'm getting something that has maintenance and the word sample in there. That's now what I'm seeing in my results. So you might expect to use and, but what and is doing is it's actually giving us or, which is a little bit confusing. But keep in mind, you're basically going to be using that plus sign or the plus symbol instead. And that is then going to give us our and equivalent. All right, so I've shown that, yes, I can use and it's going to give me or, which is, again, a little bit confusing. But what we can also do is we can use the pipe symbol, which the pipe symbol, depending on your keyboard, on mine, it's next to the shift key. So I can go ahead and do shift and then press that button and it will give me the pipe symbol. So that is then saying maintenance or sample. So then the results I'm getting back are then what I would expect, to where I'm going to see different types of records. So if I just, again, click on cases, I'm then seeing some that have the word maintenance and also could have sample, but then I've got some things that have sample in there. So it's either or, either of those two things that would be in there. One thing to keep in mind is if I then click on the type of record or the table, if you want to call it that, or the entity, it will show what fields are being used that it's actually searching through. So this is searching through the case title and the case number. If I went to knowledge articles, it says it's searching for the content, description, keywords, and title. That's what it is searching through. So the pipe symbol is going to give us our or logic. That's the Boolean operator. So the last of the Boolean operators that's going to work in this specific search bar is not. So to do that, we're going to use the minus symbol in our search. So let's say, for example, I just wanted to search for things that had the word shipment in there. So I can go ahead and I can just type in the word shipment, and that's fine. So I'm getting what I expect back. I'm getting records that have shipment somewhere in any of the searchable fields. If I then go ahead and I put a plus, I'm basically saying shipment, that's hard to say, shipment, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the minus symbol, and right after it I'm going to put the word damaged. So I want anything that shows shipment but not the word damaged. So now we're seeing that we've got less results coming back because we're filtering out things that have damage. So we're saying shipment but not damaged. So again, we've got and is the plus, we've got or is the pipe symbol, and then we have not is using the minus symbol. So that will then give us things that do not include that. So then what we can do is we can do something called precedence operators, where we're combining the operators to use things like and or within the same search. So let's say, for example, we want service, and then we're going to go ahead and start a square bracket, and I'm going to do time and then a pipe and then required and then close that bracket. So what we're doing there is we're saying we want to see everything that has the word service in it and either time or required. So kind of like a maths equation, where I'm basically saying I want this, and then within the bracket, those are the things that I want to have either or of those. Obviously, if something had service and it had time and required, it would bring it back. I'm just saying it has to have either of those. So that's going to then bring me back my results, where it is basically saying, okay, does it have service somewhere in and either time or required? So again, combining those together. What we can also do is we can do a wildcard. So the asterisk symbol is what is going to indicate the wildcard. So this should be put at the end of the search term as a trailing wildcard rather than putting it at the start. It's not going to give expected results. So if I do something like info and I put it at the end, I'm then going to get anything back that has something like information in, informative, that kind of thing. If I put it at the start, it's not going to be bringing back anything that I would be expecting. So we need to make sure that we put that wildcard at the end as a trailing wildcard. That's what we're using it for. And then we've got the exact matches. So if I want to look for something that is exactly service required, that will only bring us back results where the exact string is included, and that's what's bringing us back. So we can see that we've got one case that's come back that met that exactly. So what I'd like to know is, have you been using the latest Relevance Search experience? What have you found? Have you been using different Boolean logic or other triggers? Those are the things that I found that definitely worked and gave back the expected results that I would be thinking I would find. But I'd love to know your comments, so go ahead and leave them below. And also there is a link directly to the blog post for this as well in the description. So yeah, let me know what you think. Hi, I'm Megan Walker. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something from it. If you don't want to miss out on any other content, you can go ahead and click on my face below to subscribe. And if you want to watch the next video, you can do that by clicking over here and go ahead and get started. Thanks again.